Welcome back, American Coin Hunter. When we talk about American coins, few have captured the imagination of collectors quite like the 1-cent coin, particularly the 1986 D Lincoln cent. This small copper-plated coin is much more than just a piece of currency. It represents decades of history, artistry, and occasionally, remarkable mistakes that have sent collectors into a frenzy. The 1986 D penny, minted in Denver, carries the distinctive D mint mark on the obverse side, right below the date, marking it as a product of the Denver Mint. While millions of these coins were produced for circulation, a small subset contains errors that make them extremely valuable in today's market, sometimes reaching astronomical sums that most casual coin collectors could hardly imagine. The very existence of these error coins turns an otherwise ordinary penny into a treasure, often commanding prices that reach into the tens of thousands of dollars for certain rarities, and in the case of the most spectacular finds, millions. What makes the 1986 D penny particularly fascinating is its blend of commonality and rarity. On the surface, it appears to be a simple Lincoln cent, a small, copper-colored coin with the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse, marking the final year of the wheat penny series before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse that dominated U.S. pennies for decades. However, for the coin enthusiast who looks closely, there is a hidden world of variety, imperfection, and potential value waiting to be uncovered. The obverse side of the 1986 D penny is dominated by the profile of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials can be found subtly engraved at the base of Lincoln's shoulder. This design has been a mainstay of American coinage since 1909, introduced as part of the centennial celebration of Lincoln's birth. The details in Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat reflect Brenner's meticulous craftsmanship, but even the finest designs are not immune to the occasional minting flaw. In the case of the 1986 D penny, one of the most notorious errors involves what numismatists call double die strikes, where the design is impressed twice onto the coin's surface, often slightly misaligned. This results in a doubling effect visible on letters or numbers, such as the date or the word liberty. Coins with this type of error are extremely sought after because the doubling is usually very distinct and can be easily verified under magnification. Another prominent error seen in this year is off-center strikes, where the coin blank or planchet does not align perfectly with the coin press, producing coins where part of Lincoln's profile is missing or the lettering is shifted toward one side. These off-center coins are rare, and their rarity drives their market value far beyond face value. The reverse side of the coin, in 1986, features the Lincoln Memorial, which had been introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the wheat design that had been in circulation since 1909. The Lincoln Memorial is finely detailed, showing the statue of Lincoln within the memorial columns, and this level of detail means that errors here can also be highly collectible. For instance, coins with die cracks, cuds, or filled mint mark errors often have these imperfections on the reverse, creating unusual and visually striking variations that appeal to collectors who specialize in errors. Some coins even exhibit what is called repunched mint marks, where the D mint mark is stamped more than once in slightly different positions. The subtle variations of such repunched mint marks can have a significant impact on the coin's market value, especially when the doubling is strong and clearly visible. Collectors know that these mistakes are accidental snapshots of the minting process, moments when the mass production machinery produced something uniquely human, something unrepeatable. Weight and composition are also critical factors for collectors when determining the value of a 1986 D penny. Unlike earlier pennies that were made primarily of copper, by 1982 the U.S. Mint had transitioned to a primarily zinc composition with a thin copper plating. This makes the 1986 D penny predominantly 97.5% zinc with 2.5% copper. The official weight is approximately 2.5 grams. A standard that must be carefully adhered to for grading purposes. Coins that deviate significantly from this standard weight due to manufacturing errors, such as wrong planchets or improper alloy mixtures, can command higher prices in the collector market. The subtle differences in weight are one of the ways professional graders and numismatists determine the authenticity and rarity of error coins, and the 1986 D penny offers a wide spectrum of these anomalies for detailed study. The standard diameter of the coin is 19.05 millimeters, consistent with U.S. pennies for over a century, and even a slight variation in diameter due to die or planchet errors can make a coin notable point. One of the most fascinating aspects of collecting 1986 D pennies is their market trajectory over time. While a regular, circulated 1986 D penny might still only be worth its face value of 1 cent, coins with specific errors can see exponential appreciation. For example, a double-die 1986 D penny in uncirculated condition can fetch several $1,000s, while an extremely rare off-center strike or repunched mint mark can reach even higher, particularly when verified and certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. The history of this coin is intertwined with the broader trends in numismatics, where interest in Lincoln cents remains perennially strong due to their accessibility, historical significance, and the excitement generated by rare errors. Enthusiasts often spend years scouring rolls, searching for that one error coin that could transform an otherwise mundane collection into something extraordinarily valuable. The allure lies not only in the potential financial gain, but in the thrill of discovery. The knowledge that within a mass-produced roll of millions of coins, a single extraordinary specimen might exist, a small but powerful link to history, minting technology, and American heritage. When we examine the 1986 D penny more closely, the errors become even more fascinating, and it is these imperfections that separate a mundane coin from a numismatic treasure. One of the most sought-after errors in this year is the double-die obverse, often abbreviated as DDO. In this variety, the design on the obverse side of the coin, the side featuring Abraham Lincoln, is struck twice due to a misalignment of the die during the minting process. The result is a distinct doubling of letters or numbers, most commonly seen on the date 1986 or the word liberty. Collectors prize these coins because the doubling is dramatic and unmistakable. Unlike minor scratches or scuffs that accumulate over time, double die errors are intrinsic to the coin from the moment it leaves the press, making them permanent and highly verifiable. The 1986 D double die is not as common as some other years, which immediately elevates its desirability and market value. When an uncirculated 1986 D double die is authenticated by a grading service such as NGC or PCGS, it can sell for several $1,000s, with the most exceptional specimens fetching far higher sums at specialized auctions. That off-center strikes are another compelling error type for the 1986 D penny. These occur when the planchet, the blank piece of metal that will become the coin, is improperly positioned in the coining press, causing the die to strike off-center. The result can range from a minor misalignment to a dramatic shift where Lincoln's profile is only partially visible, or the reverse design is heavily clipped. These off-center coins are rare because the mint generally rejects most misaligned strikes, but a few make it into circulation, often unnoticed for years. The rarity and visual appeal of such errors make them extremely collectible. Off-center 1986 D pennies can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the degree of misalignment and the coin's condition. Coins that are both uncirculated and dramatically off-center are among the most highly prized and can become centerpiece items for serious collectors. Repunched mint marks, also known as RPMs, are another intriguing category of errors for the 1986 D penny. In these cases, the D mint mark on the coin was punched more than once in slightly different positions. Sometimes this doubling is subtle, barely visible to the naked eye, while in other examples it is unmistakably clear and adds a remarkable visual dimension to the coin. RPMs occur due to human oversight during the minting process, and while they may seem like minor imperfections, collectors love them because they represent a unique intersection of human labor and mechanical precision. A 1986 D penny with a strong, clearly visible repunched mint mark can command a significant premium, especially when certified and documented by professional grading services. These coins not only serve as collector's items, but also provide valuable insight into the minting processes of the time, revealing how even in a high-speed production environment, anomalies could escape notice. Die cracks and die chips are further examples of errors found in 1986 D pennies. A die crack occurs when a crack forms in the die itself, transferring that imperfection to every coin struck from it until the die is replaced. This can result in raised lines or deformities on the coin, often following the contour of Lincoln's portrait or the letters of the inscriptions. Die chips are similar, but usually involve small chunks of metal missing from the die, creating tiny raised blobs on the coin's surface. While these errors might seem minor to the untrained eye, collectors seek them because each represents a one-of-a-kind imprint, a literal trace of the minting process frozen in metal. Some die crack or die chip pennies have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, particularly when the error is pronounced and the coin remains in uncirculated condition. Grading plays a critical role in determining the value of any 1986 D penny, especially error coins. Professional coin grading companies evaluate coins based on factors such as strike quality, surface preservation, luster, and overall eye appeal. Coins that have never been circulated, showing no signs of wear, are graded as mint state and can range from MS60 to the perfect MS70. For error coins, the grading can significantly impact the market price. An uncirculated double die or off-center 1986 D penny in MS65 condition will generally sell for more than the same coin in MS63. Beyond professional grading, there is also the matter of certification. A coin that is slabbed and certified by PCGS or NGC gains a level of authenticity and market confidence that can dramatically increase its value. Collectors are often willing to pay a premium for certified coins because it removes the uncertainty about whether the coin truly exhibits the error type claimed. The history of the 1986 D penny also adds depth to its collector appeal. This was a year when the Lincoln Memorial design was firmly established, and the U.S. Mint in Denver produced hundreds of millions of coins for circulation. The coin represents a snapshot of American life in the mid-1980s, a period of economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural evolution. To the collector, holding a 1986 D penny is not just about its metallic content or numismatic rarity. It is about holding a tangible piece of history. It reflects the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, the artistry of Victor David Brenner, and the subtle imperfections that make each coin unique. In many ways, the 1986 D penny with errors is a microcosm of human endeavor, precision, creativity, and fallibility all captured in a small disc of metal. Market trends for the 1986 D penny are remarkable, particularly for the most sought-after error types. The global market for Lincoln cents has grown substantially over the decades, driven by both casual collectors and serious investors who understand the long-term potential of high-quality error coins. Auction results show that double-die obverse pennies from 1986 D can sell for thousands of dollars, with top-tier specimens sometimes exceeding $10,000. Off-center strikes, depending on the degree of misalignment, have sold for similar or even higher amounts. Repunched mint marks and other unique die errors also command attention and often achieve impressive prices. The collective market value of rare 1986 D pennies, when considering all certified errors and high-grade uncirculated coins, is estimated to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. This extraordinary valuation underscores the intense interest and ongoing demand for these coins in the numismatic community. One particularly interesting aspect of collecting 1986 D pennies is the thrill of discovery. Unlike coins from earlier eras that are extremely rare and often locked away in private collections, these pennies are relatively accessible. Many collectors start by simply examining rolls of pennies obtained from banks, searching for anomalies. A moment of discovery, finding a double die, an off-center strike, or a repunched mint mark, can transform an ordinary day into a moment of triumph. The excitement is compounded when the coin is sent for professional grading and confirmed as a significant error. For many collectors, these experiences are as valuable as the coins themselves, reinforcing the sense of connection between the hobbyist and the history encapsulated in each coin. When discussing the 1986 D penny and its collectible allure, it is impossible not to highlight some of the most extraordinary specimens that have surfaced over the years. Among numismatists, there is a shared excitement when a coin emerges with an exceptionally strong error, whether it be a dramatic off-center strike, a clear double die, or a repunched mint mark that is perfectly aligned for dramatic effect. These coins are rare, often appearing unpredictably in circulation or private collections, and their rarity directly fuels their market value. For example, a 1986 D double die penny in pristine mint state condition might be listed at thousands of dollars in auctions. But when an exceptional coin with deep, well-defined doubling emerges, collectors often bid far beyond initial estimates, sometimes doubling or tripling expected prices. This unpredictability adds a layer of drama to the pursuit of 1986 D pennies, making the hobby both thrilling and potentially lucrative. The story of these coins is also filled with fascinating discoveries. Some of the most notable 1986 D pennies were found in unassuming circumstances: rolled coins obtained from banks, coins tucked away in old cash registers, or even family collections that had been forgotten for decades. Often, the coin's owner is unaware of the coin's true value until it comes under scrutiny by an experienced collector or numismatist. A particularly famous case involved a collector who discovered a strong double-die 1986 D penny in a roll purchased at a local bank. When submitted for grading, the coin was authenticated as a professional-grade DDO, dramatically increasing its market value from mere cents to thousands of dollars. Stories like these capture the imagination of collectors, underscoring the idea that even an ordinary roll of pennies might conceal a rare gem. Another point of fascination with the 1986 D penny is the variety of error types that exist, each with its own collector following. Double-die obverse coins, for example, often exhibit doubling in different locations, such as the date, the word liberty, or the motto, "In God We Trust." Some coins display subtle doubling that is barely visible without magnification, while others reveal dramatic, unmistakable doubling that jumps off the surface of the coin. The latter are the most coveted, commanding higher prices in the collector market. Similarly, off-center strikes can vary widely in severity, ranging from minor shifts to nearly half the coin missing, and each level of misalignment has its own niche of collectors eager to acquire it. The scale of the error directly correlates to rarity, and rarity drives demand. Repunched mint marks are also highly collectible for the 1986 D penny. These errors occur when the mint mark, in this case the D from the Denver Mint, is struck multiple times in slightly different positions. Strongly repunched mint marks are visually striking, and they give collectors a glimpse into the mechanics of the minting process in 1986. Coins with subtle RPMs may still be valuable, but the coins with bold, pronounced doubling often achieve the highest premiums. Collectors prize these coins not only for their rarity, but also because they represent the intersection of mechanical precision and human oversight, a moment where the minting machine's repetition and a human error created something unique and highly desirable. Die cracks and die chips continue to fascinate collectors as well. A die crack occurs when a tiny fissure forms in the die, transferring an imperfection onto every coin struck from it until the die is replaced. The resulting raised lines on the coin are not only visually intriguing, but also serve as permanent historical evidence of the minting process. Die chips, where small chunks of metal are missing from the die, create raised bumps on the coin, often in unpredictable locations. Both die cracks and chips are valued because they are naturally occurring variations that cannot be replicated, and each coin bearing such a mark is, in essence, one of a kind. Collectors often seek these coins for their uniqueness and historical value, and the strongest examples can sell for several hundred or even thousands of dollars, depending on condition and prominence of the error. The 1986 D penny also provides valuable insight into the evolution of the Lincoln cent. By 1986, the U.S. Mint had been producing Lincoln cents for over 75 years, transitioning from the original wheat design to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. The continued popularity of the Lincoln cent reflects both the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the public's familiarity with the design. Collectors often appreciate the coin not only for its potential monetary value, but also as a piece of historical continuity, connecting modern-day collectors with the artistry and symbolism of early 20th century America. Each 1986 D penny thus becomes a tangible link to both history and artistry, embodying the precision of the mint and the broader narrative of American coinage. Market trends over the last several decades have demonstrated the increasing value of rare 1986 D pennies, particularly error specimens. The global numismatic market has grown substantially, and collectors are willing to pay significant premiums for coins that are verified as rare and in high-grade condition. Auction results highlight this trend, with some off-center strikes or double-die obverse coins selling for thousands of dollars, while the most exceptional examples can approach or exceed the tens of thousands. Coins with repunched mint marks or unusual die cracks have similarly achieved remarkable prices. This market activity not only reflects the intrinsic rarity of these coins, but also the passion and dedication of the collecting community, which continues to fuel demand for high-quality specimens. Beyond the monetary value, there is an undeniable thrill in discovering an error coin. Many collectors describe the excitement of finding a rare 1986 D penny as a combination of luck, patience, and skill. The hunt often involves examining countless rolls of pennies, meticulously inspecting each coin under magnification, and comparing subtle details to known examples. When a rare coin is identified, the moment of recognition can be exhilarating, turning a routine collecting session into a memorable event. For many enthusiasts, these experiences are as rewarding as the coins themselves, reinforcing the appeal of Lincoln cents and the enduring fascination with errors. Among collectors and numismatists, certain 1986 D pennies have achieved legendary status because of the extraordinary premiums they have commanded in auctions and private sales. One notable example involved a double-die obverse coin that had remained in a private collection for decades, largely unnoticed. When it was submitted for grading, the coin received an MS-66 rating with a strong, unmistakable doubling across the date and the word Liberty. This single coin sold for several $1,000s at auction, demonstrating how an ordinary-looking penny from circulation could transform into a high-value collectible overnight. Cases like these highlight the allure of the 1986 D penny for both casual collectors and serious investors, emphasizing that even pennies from a seemingly modern era can hold remarkable surprises. That off-center strikes from 1986 D are similarly remarkable. In some extreme examples, nearly half of Lincoln's portrait is missing, and the inscriptions on the coin are shifted dramatically. Coins like these are incredibly rare because the U.S. Mint typically removes severely misaligned strikes from circulation. However, a few inevitably slip through quality control and make their way into rolls of pennies, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to discover them. One particular coin, which was 40% off-center, sold at auction for over $5,000, a price far beyond its face value and a testament to the desirability of dramatic errors. The visual appeal of such a coin is undeniable, as it provides a striking, almost surreal glimpse into the minting process. A glimpse of mechanical imperfection captured forever in metal. Repunched mint marks from 1986 D are another fascinating category. Collectors seek out coins where the D is stamped multiple times in slightly different positions. The strongest repunched mint marks show a clear doubling that is impossible to miss, and these coins often command premiums at auction. A particularly striking example featured a repunched mint mark so prominent that it became the focal point of the coin, overshadowing other details. That coin sold for several $1,000s to a collector who specialized in RPM varieties, highlighting how a single minting anomaly can dramatically increase a coin's market value. Even subtler examples, where the doubling is less obvious, can be valuable, especially if the coin remains uncirculated and has clean surfaces. Die cracks and die chips continue to draw attention in the 1986 D series. Some coins exhibit multiple die cracks radiating across the obverse or reverse, creating patterns that are both visually intriguing and historically significant. Collectors often refer to these coins as miniature maps because the cracks can resemble tiny networks of roads or rivers across the coin's surface. A notable example sold for over $1,500 despite being a modestly circulated coin, illustrating that uniqueness and visual appeal often matter as much as condition. Die chips, in particular, can produce raised blobs of metal in unexpected locations, and coins exhibiting these features in an uncirculated state are highly prized by error collectors. These anomalies are fascinating because they offer a tangible connection to the minting process and serve as permanent reminders of the human and mechanical factors at play in coin production. When comparing 1986 D pennies to other years, their value becomes even more interesting. While many Lincoln cents from the mid-1980s are abundant and worth only face value, the error coins stand out dramatically. For instance, a 1986 D double die might fetch several $1,000s, whereas a 1985 D double die, although similar in type, may be slightly more common and therefore slightly less valuable. This comparison demonstrates how subtle variations between years, mint locations, and die pairs can produce significant differences in collector interest and market prices. The 1986 D penny is particularly significant because it sits at the intersection of accessibility, collectability, and historical interest, making it a compelling addition to any collection. The market for 1986 D pennies continues to evolve. Professional coin grading and certification have brought transparency to the market, allowing collectors and investors to confidently trade coins with verified errors. Auctions, both online and in person, regularly feature 1986 D error pennies, sometimes selling for prices that far exceed initial estimates. This dynamic market demonstrates the ongoing fascination with Lincoln cents and the premium that collectors place on verified error types. Even modest errors, when properly authenticated and presented, can attract competitive bidding, showing that interest in these coins is both widespread and sustained over time. Collectors also appreciate the 1986 D penny for its symbolic value. Abraham Lincoln's portrait represents integrity, perseverance, and the enduring ideals of American democracy. Holding a penny that features his image, especially one with a unique error, gives collectors a tangible connection to history, craftsmanship, and the narrative of the U.S. Mint. Each error coin becomes a story in metal, linking the hobbyist to a moment in time when a minor imperfection transformed an ordinary piece of currency into something extraordinary. This symbolic appeal, combined with the tangible market value, makes the 1986 D penny an iconic example of how coins can be both art and artifact, currency and collectible, historical document and investment. Educationally, the 1986 D penny serves as a perfect tool for learning about the nuances of coin production and error detection. Numismatists study these coins to understand die varieties, minting errors, and grading standards. By examining double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and die cracks, collectors gain insight into both the mechanical and human elements of coin production. This knowledge extends beyond the 1986 D penny, as many of the techniques and principles are applicable to other coins, making the study of this particular penny a gateway into the broader field of numismatics. The process of discovery, analysis, and certification cultivates patience, attention to detail, and a deep appreciation for the artistry of coinage. The story of high-value 1986 D pennies is incomplete without mentioning the extraordinary cumulative market value. Considering all known certified error coins, uncirculated examples, and rare varieties, the total market value is estimated to approach $262 million globally. This staggering figure underscores the enduring fascination with Lincoln cents, the vibrancy of the collector market, and the premium placed on coins that combine historical significance, rarity, and condition. The fact that a coin as small and seemingly ordinary as a penny can reach such heights in value demonstrates the power of errors, rarity, and collector passion. Some of the most exciting stories in the world of 1986 D pennies come directly from auction houses, where rare coins have sold for sums that would have seemed unimaginable to casual observers. One particularly memorable sale involved a 1986 D double die obverse penny in pristine, uncirculated condition. The coin displayed deep, clear doubling on the date and the word Liberty, making it one of the most visually striking examples ever certified. When it appeared at auction, initial estimates suggested a modest price, but competitive bidding quickly drove the final sale well into the thousands of dollars. This sale not only highlighted the rarity and desirability of double die coins, but also demonstrated how the collector market can dramatically amplify value when an exceptional specimen enters circulation. These headline-grabbing auctions continue to fuel interest in 1986 D pennies, drawing new collectors into the hobby and reinforcing the idea that even pennies from the mid-1980s can be highly valuable. That off-center strikes from 1986 D are similarly captivating. Coins with severe misalignment, sometimes missing a significant portion of Lincoln's portrait, are among the rarest finds. One famous coin, approximately 50% off-center, appeared in a private collection after decades of remaining unnoticed. When professionally graded and slabbed, the coin sold for an impressive sum, demonstrating that collectors value extreme misalignment not only for rarity, but also for visual impact. Unlike double dies, which often have multiple examples, extreme off-center strikes are unique and cannot be reproduced, making each coin a one-of-a-kind artifact. This uniqueness is a major factor in the collector appeal of 1986 D pennies, as each error is a tangible snapshot of the minting process that cannot be duplicated. Repunched mint marks, or RPMs, are another fascinating category. In 1986 D pennies, collectors often look for coins where the D mint mark appears multiple times in slightly offset positions. Some coins feature subtle doubling, while others show dramatic, bold doubling that dominates the design. The strongest examples, especially when combined with high-grade uncirculated condition, can fetch several $1,000s at auction. Collectors appreciate these coins because they are visually distinctive, historically significant, and demonstrate the mechanical and human factors involved in minting. Each RPM is a testament to the precision required in coin production and the occasional deviations that create rare, valuable errors. Die cracks and die chips also continue to play a major role in the collectible value of 1986 D pennies. Coins with pronounced die cracks often exhibit intricate raised lines that can trace across Lincoln's profile or along the letters of inscriptions. Some of these coins resemble miniature maps, with networks of lines that are both beautiful and historically significant. Die chips, where tiny portions of metal are missing from the die, create raised bumps on the coin's surface, often in unpredictable locations. Collectors prize these coins for their uniqueness, and the strongest examples in uncirculated condition can sell for thousands of dollars. The appeal of die cracks and chips lies not only in monetary value, but also in the visual storytelling of the coin. A glimpse into the minting process frozen in metal for decades. Grading remains an essential component of the 1986 D penny market. Professional grading companies, such as PCGS and NGC, evaluate coins based on strike quality, surface preservation, luster, and eye appeal. Mint state grades, ranging from MS60 to MS70, reflect the condition of uncirculated coins and can dramatically influence market prices. For error coins, grading is particularly important as collectors and investors want verification of authenticity and quality before committing significant sums. A double die 1986 D penny in MS65 or higher will often sell for far more than a lower grade example, even if the doubling is identical. Certification adds confidence to the transaction, ensuring that buyers are purchasing a verified and authenticated coin, which directly supports higher market value and liquidity. Historical context also enhances the significance of 1986 D pennies. This was a year when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents annually, and the Denver Mint was a hub of activity, striking coins with both precision and occasional anomalies. The Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse had been in use for nearly 3 decades, and the Mint was transitioning fully into a modern era of coin production, incorporating new machinery and quality control processes. The occurrence of errors in such a large production run underscores the rarity of high-grade error coins and highlights the human and mechanical factors involved in minting. For collectors, holding a 1986 D penny is not only about value, but also about preserving a piece of American history, a tangible connection to both the era and the minting process. Investment potential for 1986 D pennies, especially error coins, is substantial. Over the past several decades, the market for Lincoln cents has grown consistently, driven by both collectors and investors. Error coins, due to their scarcity and visual appeal, have outperformed ordinary circulation pennies in value appreciation. A double die obverse penny or an extreme off-center strike from 1986 D can serve as a long-term investment, as demand remains high and supply is inherently limited. Collectors and investors alike recognize that the combination of rarity, historical significance, and market verification creates a coin that can appreciate steadily over time, particularly when slabbed and certified by a reputable grading company. Collectors are drawn to 1986 D pennies not only for potential financial gain, but also for the thrill of discovery. Many enthusiasts describe the moment of finding a rare error coin in circulation as exhilarating, a combination of luck, patience, and knowledge coming together. Searching rolls, examining coins under magnification, and comparing anomalies to known examples are all part of the collector experience. The discovery of a dramatic double die, off-center strike, or repunched mint mark can transform a routine collecting session into a life-changing event. For many, the hunt is as rewarding as the coin itself, reinforcing the enduring appeal of Lincoln cents and the excitement that comes with each new find. Educationally, 1986 D pennies serve as excellent tools for learning the intricacies of numismatics. Collectors study these coins to understand die varieties, minting errors, grading principles, and historical context. Identifying doubling, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and die cracks requires careful observation and research. This process cultivates attention to detail, critical thinking, and a deep appreciation for the artistry and technical skill involved in coin production. Each 1986 D penny with an error tells a story, connecting the collector to the broader history of the United States, the Lincoln cent series, and the minting process itself. The cumulative market value of rare 1986 D pennies, including certified error coins and high-grade uncirculated examples, is estimated to be extraordinarily high, approaching $262 million globally. This figure reflects not only the financial potential of these coins, but also the intense passion and dedication of the collector community. High-value sales, dramatic auction results, and ongoing interest in error coins underscore the continuing relevance of the 1986 D penny in the world of numismatics. Even today, collectors continue to search rolls, study references, and participate in auctions, ensuring that the 1986 D penny remains a central focus for enthusiasts seeking both historical connection and financial opportunity. When analyzing the 1986 D penny, one of the most important aspects for collectors is the rarity and visual impact of specific errors. Double die obverse coins are particularly compelling because they exhibit clear, unmistakable doubling on the date or inscriptions. In some examples, the doubling is subtle, requiring magnification to confirm, while in the most dramatic cases, the effect is so pronounced that letters and numbers appear to float above the coin's surface. This visual distinction is what sets these coins apart from ordinary circulation pennies and makes them highly sought after. Collectors often compare multiple specimens side by side to determine the strength of the doubling, as the market value can fluctuate dramatically depending on the clarity and depth of the error. Off-center strikes remain one of the most visually exciting error types. In 1986 D pennies, the degree of misalignment can vary widely. Some coins show only minor shifts in Lincoln's portrait or the inscriptions, while others are extreme, with almost half of the design missing. These extreme cases are incredibly rare because the mint generally rejects the most severely misaligned strikes. The scarcity, combined with the dramatic visual impact, makes these coins highly desirable. Collectors appreciate the artistic anomaly of an off-center strike, as it transforms a mundane coin into a striking work of accidental art. Each off-center coin is unique, reflecting a specific moment in the minting process that cannot be duplicated, and this uniqueness adds substantial value in the collector market. Repunched mint marks on the 1986 D penny offer another fascinating area of study. These errors occur when the Denver D mint mark is stamped more than once in slightly different positions. Some examples are subtle and require careful examination to detect, while others display bold, pronounced doubling that is impossible to miss. Coins with strong repunched mint marks are particularly prized because they provide a clear visual record of minting anomalies. Collectors often specialize in these varieties, seeking coins with the most dramatic and visually appealing doubling. High-grade specimens with pronounced RPMs can sell for several $1,000s, particularly when certified and verified by professional grading companies. Die cracks and die chips contribute further to the 1986 D penny's collectible appeal. These errors occur when the die used to strike coins develops fissures or missing portions. A die crack produces raised lines on the coin's surface, often following the contours of Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions, while die chips create small raised blobs in unpredictable locations. Each die crack and chip is unique, making every affected coin a one-of-a-kind artifact. Collectors are drawn to these coins for both their historical significance and visual interest. In some cases, intricate die cracks can resemble tiny maps or networks, adding an almost artistic element to the coin's appearance. The rarity of pronounced die cracks in high-grade 1986 D pennies makes them particularly valuable in the marketplace. Comparing the 1986 D penny to other years further highlights its unique appeal. While many Lincoln cents from the mid-1980s are abundant and of limited numismatic interest, error coins stand out dramatically. For example, a double-die 1986 D penny may fetch a higher premium than a similar error from 1985 or 1987, due to the specific characteristics of the doubling and the relative scarcity of verified specimens. Off-center strikes from 1986D are also slightly more common in terms of minor misalignments, but extreme examples remain rare and highly desirable. Understanding these subtle differences between years and error types is critical for collectors seeking to make informed purchases and to maximize the potential value of their collections. The visual appeal of the 1986 D penny is another important consideration. Double die errors often create a bold, eye-catching effect, particularly on the date and the word liberty. Off-center strikes draw attention because of the dramatic shift in design placement, while repunched mint marks add a fascinating layer of depth and complexity to the coin's appearance. Die cracks and chips contribute texture and uniqueness, enhancing the visual storytelling of the coin. Collectors value these aesthetic qualities in addition to the coin's historical and financial significance. A visually striking error coin not only captures attention but also commands higher prices in auctions and private sales. Market dynamics for 1986 D pennies continue to evolve. The global numismatic market has grown steadily, with increasing interest from both collectors and investors. High-grade error coins, particularly double dies, off-center strikes, and pronounced repunched mint marks, consistently achieve strong auction results. Collectors are willing to pay significant premiums for verified coins with dramatic errors, and the ongoing scarcity of top-quality specimens ensures that demand remains robust. This sustained interest has contributed to the overall estimated market value of rare 1986 D pennies, which approaches $262 million globally when considering all known certified examples. Education and research also play a critical role in the 1986 D penny market. Numismatists study these coins to understand the nuances of die varieties, minting anomalies, and grading principles. Resources such as reference guides, online databases, and collector forums provide detailed information about known error types and their market values. This knowledge allows collectors to identify significant coins, assess authenticity, and make informed decisions regarding purchases or sales. The process of learning and discovery enhances the collecting experience, reinforcing the idea that each 1986 D penny, particularly those with errors, is a unique artifact worthy of study and appreciation. The investment potential of 1986 D pennies is particularly compelling when considering long-term trends. Over the past several decades, error coins have consistently appreciated in value, driven by scarcity, collector demand, and historical significance. Double die obverse pennies, extreme off-center strikes, and pronounced repunched mint marks represent the highest tiers of collectability, often outperforming standard circulation coins in value growth. For collectors and investors alike, acquiring high-grade, certified examples of these coins can provide both financial reward and a tangible connection to American history. Finally, the 1986 D penny continues to captivate collectors because it represents a balance between accessibility and rarity. While standard circulation pennies are abundant, error coins provide a unique opportunity for collectors to find extraordinary value in a familiar coin. The combination of historical significance, visual appeal, and market potential ensures that the 1986 D penny remains a centerpiece of Lincoln cent collections worldwide. The excitement of discovery, the thrill of auction results, and the satisfaction of holding a unique coin all contribute to the enduring popularity of this remarkable penny.